Now, as he continues, he says, Viyat payodhim paritaf payodair velatamaalairiva vardhamanaihi jighamsata gopaganaan maghona channena tasthe mrigayarthineva. Look at this beauty, mrigarthineva. To hunt an animal. How will you hunt? Sir, I don't hunt. That is, we don't hunt generally. We don't have any purpose also to achieve by hunting. What will we do? So I don't have any purpose. In case people hunt, how will they hunt? Raghu, tell me Raghu. In your Vamsham only came Dasharatha. Right, Raghu Vamsham, tell me. Late trap. Then how else will you hunt? Anand, Brisbane, how do they hunt? You have got kangaroos, right? How do we hunt? How will the person who's hunting hunt? Singame! I will give you one sword. I will have the other sword. Let us both fight. Whoever wins, is that the way you hunt? How will you hunt? You will hide. This is the one of the points in Rama's argument with Vali. See, Vali asks a volley of questions. Vali, even I can speak like T. Rajendra. Vali or volley kettar. So he throws a volley of questions. One of the questions is, why did you hunt me while standing behind the tree? And he asks another set of questions. Rama first says, Vali, you decide whether you are a Vanara or a monkey or a human. Because if you decide that you are a Vanara, hunting is an act of a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas, even in the US and many countries, if a certain species or an animal is increasing in population, they'll give you license to hunt. You can go and hunt. So I am a Kshatriya, I know that I am allowed to hunt, and you don't have to express your opinion before hunting. See, you don't have to write one statement of purpose before hunting. I hereby would like to hunt for the following reasons. Will you give 21 reasons to hunt? I am a Kshatriya. I am bored today. I don't have any new OTT series to watch. Squid Game second season is over. Family Man third season is over. Delhi Crime third season is over. Sudal second season is over. Beecham Story one season is over. Maharani 3, 4. Asur 2. Binod Kuch Gadbad Hai Binod. Panchayat 3 seasons over. So all this is over. I am bored. I am a Kshatriya. Tomorrow I will go and hunt. I don't have to give any reason. So to hunt you don't need to reason. And when you hunt, you stand behind the tree. So Rama uses this argument. Now, Indra sat on his elephant and hid behind the clouds and started hunting the gopas, it seems. You have to imagine this. Dark rain-bearing clouds, uske piche khade hain Indra. Where is Indra seated? On the white Airavata. Correct? Imagine, you have to imagine now. Draw a canvas in front of you. Indra is seated on the Airavata with Vajrayudham. What is Vajram? Lightning. Correct? Now there is lightning, thunder, Indra on Airavata. He has hidden his Indra Dhanush, dark rain-bearing clouds. So it is masked. You can't see. Now he is hunting the gopas from standing behind the clouds. How will you hunt? What will you do? Shoot arrows. What is Andal's Pasuram? Sharngam Udaita Saramalai Pol. All these rainwater droplets that come appear as if they were arrows shot from the bow. So the hunter is Indra. The one who is being hunted is the gopas. Indra is not showing himself. He is hidden behind the clouds. Correct? Now, who is leading the gopas? Krishna. In the earlier avatara, who was Krishna? Where did he stand? Behind the tree. Whom did he hunt? Who was Vali? Indra's son. Don't you see the roles reverse? There it was the tree. Here what is it? Cloud. Who hunted there? Rama. Who is the one hunting here? Who was hunted there? Vali. Who is being hunted now? Gopas. What did it emerge from there? One arrow. Here arrows are coming. Arrow came as a real arrow there. Arrows are coming in the form of rain. You're able to get the imagery comparison now? So in 2 lines, Vedanta Desika does all this magic. Now I have to explain for 12 minutes to describe one verse. So, Viyat payodhim paritaf payodair. See, somehow, I'm amazed at our literature. I told you, I don't know whether I told the group or yesterday's lecture. Our civilization may not have monuments that are as old as Egypt, historically. But our literature is very rich. Literature is very rich. So each civilization will have its own pluses and minuses. Jigam sata gopaganan maghona channena tasthe mrigayarthineva. Now, he says in another place, Payodabharair namitam nabhakim Sheshahina bhumirutaf pranunna adurata samputa bhava bhajo rasitayorantaram alpasesham. So the rain-bearing clouds started coming down. They started descending because rain-bearing clouds will have weight. So they started coming down. Now the hilak Govardhana was being showcased from Mother Earth. She was there. Now it appeared as if the gap between the clouds and the hilak had reduced very further. Why? Because the hilak appeared like Adisesha. So what color is Adisesha? White. So this white mountain, like another Himalaya Parvatam, appeared as if Himalaya had stunted growth. You know, in medical terms, we call it dwarfism. When the pituitary gland malfunctions, you will be a dwarf. For that age, you will not have that respected height. So this looked like short dwarf Himalayas, and above were rain-bearing clouds. The gap was very little, says Vedanta Desika. Then he continues. He says, Yadarchanada padiyam prasakta tenaiva gopala ganasya guptim arochayat kartumasesha gopta ramena sammantrya rathangapanihi. Krishna, the one who's adorned with Sudarshana Chakra. Did he have Sudarshana Chakra then? No, he didn't have Sudarshana Chakra. Hill, correct. So he held the hill like Sudarshana. Before holding the hill, did he have Sudarshana? You're able to get my question? Say, Kartalo, Kandani, question Kate. Yedo Bandira, why solute Poname Uri, Kalangartalo, question. See, this first hour in college is actually a very tough hour. First hour in your school or college, first period. Because you will be a bit sleepy. Right, one. The same thing, the period after lunch. That too, you know, in Dakshina Bharatam, they will typically send rice. And that too, if it is maths period, we know why many of them would have flunked in that subject. Right, most maths periods, if they come after lunch, what will we do? So first period, I'm asking you questions. I know it is a torture, but you have no other choice because your return flight is only tomorrow. Okay, you have to withstand. So now you tell me, before lifting Govardhanam, did Krishna have chakra? Now there is one pasuram of Alvar. Kangulum pagalum kantuyil ariyal. Kannanir kaigalal iraikum. Shangu chakarangal yendru kaikupum. See, Shankam Chakram can never leave Bhagavan. Remember this. These are all apritak siddha viseshanam, inseparable adjectives from Bhagavan. Mahalakshmi, if he's bored one day, Lakshmi, ரொம்ப வெயிட்டா இருக்கம்மா, கொஞ்சம் அந்த பக்கம் இறங்கி உட்காந்துக்கோய். Right, most fathers, they will end up carrying their daughters or sons for some time. After 10 minutes, கண்ணா முடியலம்மா, அப்பா கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் வருஷம் இருக்கணும்மா, இறங்கு. Don't we say? Now Bhagavan can also say that Lakshmi, बहुत वजन है. इधर बहुत दुख रहा है, तुम इधर थोड़ी देर बैठो ना. He never does that. அகலகில்லேன் இறையும் என்று அலர்மேல் மங்கை. Even for a second she doesn't stay away from him. Like Lakshmi are Bhagavan's Panchayudams. They will never, இப்போ சங்கு சக்கரத்தை வச்சுட்டு என்ன கொஞ்சம் நான் அது பக்கம் இரு, அப்புறம் நான் நாளைக்கு நன்னா அதை 10 பாத்திரம் தேய்க்கிற மாதிரி தேய்ச்சுட்டு, ரைட், I will take that Shankam Chakram tomorrow. I will use prill and then take it. No, it doesn't happen that way, right? Bhagavan had Shankam Chakram where? Very good. He had in the Rekha. See, we do that thumb printing, right? We use for Nadi Josim also. In that there was Shankha Chakram. So that Bhagavan who had Chakra Mudra, he sought the permission of his older brother Balarama and said, भैया मैं गोपों का रक्षण करना चाहता हूँ, आप मुझे आदेश दीजिए भैया. Balarama knew he was a powerless brother. For name's sake, Krishna is coming and asking permission, right? You know, in some of the couples you will see that, இல்லையா, இதை நீங்கள் வந்து நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கோ, நீங்கள் சொன்னால் நான் வாங்கிக்கிறேன். He has no option. But that is just for name's sake. அது மாதிரி இல்லை, அவர் சொன்னாதான் எதுவுமே நான் பண்ணுவேன். அப்படியா, நான் நினைக்கிறது தான் அவர் சொல்லுவார் அப்படின்ட்டா. Look at the process. He will say what I will think. I will do only what he says. அப்படின்னா, isn't it that loop? You have got the point there. So here Krishna says, भैया आप मुझे आदेश दीजिए. बलरामा என்னைக்கு நான் okay मैं आदेश देता हूँ, करो. If he says no, for example, Balarama says no, Bhaiya, you're very jovial at times, Bhaiya. Because none of Balarama's decisions fructified in Mahabharata. He wanted Subhadra to marry Duryodhana. See, all these things, if you look at Mahabharata, it is only Krishna, right? He will act as if he's a democrat, but he's an autocrat. He will act, I would love to follow all these rules, as the freedom of expression should be there. He will say all that. But if someone says something, next day arrest. So that is Krishna's style. Now, he said, Arochayat kartum asesha gopta. Now, then he continues. Now, again, this is imagery. You have to follow this. What color is Adisesha? White. What color is Krishna? So Vaikuntham will be like a chessboard, black and white, correct? Now Bhagavan is holding the mountain. How is he holding? Now he has spread his fingers, it seems. Vedanta Desika says he has spread his fingers like the hoods of Adisesha. Phanam. Phanam is hood. So he has spread his fingers like the phanams of Adisesha. What color is Adisesha? But he is dark. So he says, Vedanta Desika says, prior to coming to this place, the Gopikas applied white chandanam on his hands, it seems. So Krishna's hand, originally dark hued, was laced and smeared with white chandanam. So his hand and fingers are white. When he spreads like the hoods of Adisesha, his hand appears like Adisesha. Now his head is here. So if you see from a distance, his hand and spread out fingers will appear like Adisesha. And he will appear like Krishna. So Vedanta Desika has split Krishna's body itself into Krishna and Adisesha. You are able to get the point? So he says, Phana birama prasurtangulikaha priyangaraga vyatishanga panduhu. What is pandu? White. Remember, because Ambalika, when she went towards Vyasa, she was shocked because Vyasa namanamai sumara arpar pakarthukku. She was earlier married to Vichitravirya. That man died. This Veda Vyasa was a great Maharishi, but he was நிறைய பேர் சொல்லுவா, இது யாருன்னா அவங்க ஆத்து மாப்பிள்ளை, ஐயோ பார்க்கறதுக்கு தான் ஒரு மாதிரி இருப்பார், நல்லவர் அப்படின்பா. அப்படின்னா என்ன, பார்த்து இதாகிடுது. we should not be taken away by the looks, because some people will say, எங்கள் ஆத்து மாப்பிள்ளைய பார்க்கறதுக்கு தான் வாயே திறக்கப்படாது அந்த ஆள், பார்க்கறதுக்கு தான் நன்னா இருக்குமே ஒழிய வாய் திறந்ததுன்னா பூச்சு. Similarly, you take the other way. Here, when we look at Pandu, now this Ambalika, when she went towards Vyasa that night, she could not withstand his ugliness, it seems. So she turned pale. In that shock, in that state of shock, she turned pale, which means when you're pale, you will appear fairer than what you are. So Vedavyasa said, see, you will have a son. He will be very valorous, but he will be extremely white, fair. தமிழில் ஒரு வார்த்தை உண்டு, வெள்ளப்பாச்சேம்பா, கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? வெள்ளப்பாச்சேன்னா அஷட்டு வெளுப்புன்னு அர்த்தம். அதாவது இட் இஸ் நாட் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இதெல்லாம் போய் சொல்லிவிடாதீங்க, ஒரு ரேசிஸ்டும்பா என்ன. ஸோ ஐ எம் ஜஸ்ட் டெல்லிங் யூ ஃபார் யுவர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம்லி ஃபேர், லைக் ஹவு தே சே இஃப் இட்ஸ் கருப்பான்னு கேட்டால் யோ கருப்பு, என்ன கலர் அது கருப்பு. Similarly, if you are very fair, there is a word வெள்ளப்பாச்சை. That is called Pandu. That is why he was called Pandu. Can you even today they would have been thrown inside behind the bars. What a racist name. You just can't say that because Krishna is called dark. Pandu is called white. Can you imagine somebody today, Mr. White? Detergent da adu. Illaya, Mr. White, Mr. Black. But these were the names in those days. Pandu, Bhujastvadiyo, Girina Babhase, Bhumandale Neva, Bhujangarajaha. Now, Vedanta Desika continues. He says, while lifting the Parvatam, the cows were wondering what to eat. What did they eat? Grass. But somebody has to tell the cows that the grass are found the other side. See, today, somebody has pankuliye thedindirukku. Now the grass is on the top right. See, if you go to Bangalore T2 terminal, the garden is upwards. Have you seen hanging gardens of Babylon? Now it is hanging gardens of T2. So you will have hanging gardens. You will be thinking where the gardens are. You have to look upwards. Now somebody has to tell the cows. Why can't the cows discover themselves? No. Jnanena hinaha pashubhis samanaha. Pashus are not very intelligent. See, dogs are very intelligent. You know, 1 or 2 people would have got offended with the archana that I did for dogs yesterday. I will do 1 or 2. They are very smart. சரியா, அடுத்த யாத்திராக்கு வரணும். அதுக்கு 4-5 பேர் வராமல் இருந்துவா. நாய் அப்படி சொல்லிவிட்டார் சார், எங்காத்து நாய் எவ்வளோ முக்கியம் தெரியுமா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கோவத்தை வராமல் இருப்பா. கோவப்படாதீங்க. டாக் இஸ் வெரி குட். நவ் டாக்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி ஸ்மார்ட். If you go to Australia, New Zealand airport, importantly, first, the one that will be in the welcome committee will be the dogs. அது நம்மளை மோந்து பார்த்து whether we have brought sambar pudi or whether, correct? How many Australians here? See, correct? Am I right? First, அது நம்மளை ஊருக்கு வந்து நம்மளை எச்ச பண்ணிட்டு முழுக்க நக்கிட்டு சுத்தமாக அது நக்கி முழுக்க நம்மளை நக்கிட்டு போயிடும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் பைரவ சாம்ராஜ்யம். Here, dogs are very smart because they can recognize so many smells, they say. Cow appadi illa. Jnanena hinaha pashubhis samanaha. That will not have the intelligence. Oh, the grass is not on the ground. I just need to look elsewhere. Oh yeah, the grass is there. It won't know. Now, Krishna had to teach the cows that grass is upwards. So, Vedanta Desika says, Adho mukasya dripates trinani trinam. Trinam is grass. Adho mukaha. Now it is hanging grass. Sprishtva mukundena nidarshitani. How will you tell the cows that grass is upwards? Now he would touch the cows and with the other hand he would rub his hands over the grass. Now the cow will look upwards and then know that there is grass. Look at the imagination. Then he continues, Jata spruha jagrasire saharsham gavastada kinchidavo namantyaha. Then he continues, ukshiptyamanaha. Now the cows were consuming grass. How long will they keep eating? See, cows are a unique creature. They are called ruminating animals. Have you heard of them? They ruminate. Rumination is a process where if they get an opportunity of feeding upon the grass, they will eat as much as possible. then they will store before it reaches the stomach. So above the diaphragm, somewhere here in the esophagus, they will be stored. Now whenever they are free, they get free time, they will bring that grass back to their mouth and slowly chew them. There is a word in Tamil, asha podradhu solva. We should be cows, it seems. Whenever we get an opportunity, we should listen to a lot of thoughts, retain them. When we go back home, nobody will be there to talk with us. One afternoon, we will get all for us. That time, we should regurgitate. We should put those thoughts back to our mind and slowly process them. We should be cows. So cows are that kind of a creature. Now cows were feeding upon the grass. 7 days Krishna held the mountain. Now Yashoda used to say, Krishna, open your mouth. And Krishna was holding the mountain. She would feed Krishna. She used to say, why should my son alone hold the mountain? Can't your sons hold Pichumani and Rajamani? She is being a true mother, right? A true mother will always be concerned about the welfare of her child. What if the child gets spondylitis? She is not concerned whether he is Govinda, Purushottama, Narayana. He is N Krishna. Right, we have problem only with N Ram. N Krishna we don't have problem. Right, so he is N Krishna. She is concerned about his health. Now Bhagavan has been holding. Now one day he has to put that back to its state, because after 7 days, the clouds which used to report to Indra, see, there were many clouds that used to report to Indra. All clouds have to report to Indra. But a city called Perth. Anybody from Perth here? In Perth alone, there will be no clouds. I have been there for lectures to Perth. In my last Australia tour, my last lecture was in Perth. I searched throughout the city. Not one cloud. I asked them. They said this is a cloudless city. You will never see clouds atop Perth. So all clouds report to Indra, barring the city of Perth, because that is a cloudless city. Okay. I don't know where they store their data. They don't have clouds. There are no clouds there. Now the point is, the clouds that were reporting to Indra filled with waters, poured all their waters for 7 days. And now there were no waters left. How do we know? Because the clouds became white. Now, that's all. The clouds had done their duty and they said, Taleva! They looked at Indra and said, Mudila Taleva! And they all left. Now, when the clouds had gone away, there was blue skies and people knew that it won't rain any further. Krishna had to keep the mountain back in its own state. See, that is discipline. In houses, if you take some object from its place, you have to keep it back. That is called self-discipline. Even when you take a dhoti out, I'm talking men, women, whoever they are, I keep professing cleanliness amongst people. See, ahara shuddho sattva shuddhi, whatever food you eat, it should be clean. In a house, if you stay, it should be clean. Apde veshti or kodile. Tuki potu. Apde kodiyar ko, veshtiyar ko. Draupadi இன்னைக்கு கேட்டா நம்மள வேஷ்டியே கொடுத்துடலாம். Even when you fold that dhoti, it should be folded so well. Your shelf should be so neatly arranged. See, look at that life from that perspective. Your house should be neatly arranged. Your floor should be dry. Your kitchen counter should be clean. Imagine that house. See, we keep talking about Mahalakshmi's presence in the house. She will stay only in neat houses. She can't take dirtiness. It should be neat. Even when you look at that Bhagavat Sannidhi in your house, for 2 minutes you should feel so close to that. Mandravadi Goha Madri. Or Yelimichambalam. Some mala outside. Each place you go, one will give one photo. You have to keep attaching there. It will suddenly look like a magician's cave. ரெண்டு மண்டை ஓடு தான் பாக்கி அங்க. So your Bhagavad Sannidhi in Vaishnava Sampradayam we call it Kovilalvar. It should be so neat. See, something that we need to inculcate in Indians. I keep telling the priests also, don't think I spare anyone. I tell in the temple, when you take that camphor, you should not throw that plastic cover away. Why do you want to litter the Garbhagraham of all places? Garbhagraham, that is where Bhagavan resides. If you give oil after applying oil on the wall, what are we doing to our temples? Can you even imagine? Can you construct one temple? To construct one Ayodhya temple, we have taken so much strain. You go to Kaveri Delta, every half a kilometer there will be one temple made in granite, 1,000 years old, of at least 50 acres. We can't lift a single stone. We do not have the skill to sculpt a single stone. All that we can do is apply oil. Imagine a single fire accident can let the entire Garbhagraham burn. Do we even know? Cleanliness. The way you pack, the way you present yourself. There is an art, there is a finesse. That is why they say, if Shukra is in a good position in your Jatakam, that presentation will be excellent. Whatever you present, even if you make a single vegetable dish, it will be presentable so beautifully, it will be presented so beautifully that the person who has come to have food in your house will feel, abde bothaya podradhu. Kirinja dosa. See, even in presenting that dosa, there is a finesse. See, we have been a land of aesthetics. What aesthetics our architects had in those days, and what are we today? Today's temples, they will paint in all possible colors. Pink. Suddenly in one Chola temple, there will be bathroom tiles. Have you seen? Behind Bhagavan, bathroom tiles they will keep. If Cholas were there today, they would have guillotined those people, beheaded them. What are we doing to our temples? So cleanliness. So Krishna had this great habit, take one object from its place, keep it back in that place. Correct. Now he has got two tasks. He has to keep the mountain. But how should he keep? First he has to tilt it. Leta abdi bambara mari adu ninnundirukum leta. You are able to get. Because he has lifted the mountain in the reverse fashion. Once I told this. Many of my friends are ISKCON devotees. They are all Gaudiyas. नहीं ये तो ऐसा नहीं है ना, भगवान ऐसे ही लिफ्ट किए थे, आप क्यों उल्टा बता रहे हैं? This is what Vedanta Desika says. This is what Harivamsham states. See, Bhagavatam is one source of Krishna's life history. Harivamsham and Vishnu Puranam are equally important sources. So now when Krishna lifted the mountain, he had to reverse it to get that grass. Now he has to reverse it back. I will tell you how this process is. When you bake a cake, how will you do it? First you have to, after the cake is baked, you have to reverse it and again re-reverse it. Have you seen that? Now in that process, you have to be extremely careful. See, a trained cook, a seasoned cook can only do this. Because if you do it by piece-piece-ஆ போயிடும். பிரளய காலம் மாதிரி அது கேக்காவே இருக்காது. You're able to get my point? It's an art. Even when you make some savories, you should know how to bend it in the oil without breaking it. That's an art. When you make an uttappam, that is your dinner tonight. Tannappar, illappa, uttappa. Now when you take that uttappa and you take it, that is an art. Because what will happen is that batter will scatter. So Krishna, how did he do that?